shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks. Hey everyone, and welcome back here today for a new video. You've read the title and have seen the thumbnail, I'm sure, and the video today is just as self-explanatory as you may think. So seriously, what does Mr. F even do? What's his purpose? And simply, well, what was really the point? The reason I'm actually going to be talking about Mr. F in particular with today's video, in case any of you are curious, because this could be said for most of the council members, but the reason I'm doing Mr. F specifically here is that I think his role is genuinely microscopic, even in comparison to some of the other Crystal Council members. When rewatching episodes from Crystalized, I'm seriously just left wondering, what was actually the point of stating that Mr. F was basically a new model of Mr. E? Why isn't it just like a generic new robot? If you're going to do absolutely nothing with the character, then why state that this is the superior new model of Mr. E, when really that is never even a concept that's talked about again later on in the season? Well, now, I think that obviously the main reason for that is quite obvious depending on how you look at things here. The main reason that Mr. F was said to be a new model of Mr. E would be nostalgia purposes. You know, it's a nice little callback to Season 8 and 9 fans, because Mr. E was definitely a fan favourite character back then. So having a new character that's kind of like the rebuild version of him, you know, I can see why they would have done that for pure nostalgic purposes. It definitely does please fans that as well. So yeah, nostalgia and to please fans. And also there was another reason that's kind of obvious here, and that's just to fit in with the very prominent theme of the Crystal Council. Obviously, they are all returning villains, pretty much, so, you know, you can kind of see why they wouldn't just name it as a generic robot type thing. Still, I think my argument still stands here. It just seems very odd that Mr. F was brought back for this. But, like, for example, if he was just a generic robot that we had never seen before, it literally would not have affected the story at all, for the most part. Like, Mr. F being Mr. E, you know, it doesn't actually do anything in the season. It was never revealed that he was Echo Zane in this season, for example, which is what I know a lot of people were expecting and hoping to see. That never happened. So if Mr. F just turned out to be a generic robot without being stated to be the rebuilt version of Mr. E, literally it would not affect the story or impact it in the slightest, which I find to be kind of funny, actually. His role in the season is overall kind of laughable, in my opinion. What does he actually do in the season? Well, basically he shoots at Lloyd a few times. That's basically it. He never gets a proper moment to himself later on, really, for the most part. He's just kind of there in the background, and he gets even less screen time than the other Crystal Council members, which is, again, pretty laughable, to be honest. He's just kind of lurking in the background, doing basically nothing for most of the scenes. He was only really used in a few episodes to shoot down Lloyd whenever he was attacking Harumi or whatnot. That was basically his biggest role throughout Crystalized, and that was it. Which, again, it does kind of rub me the wrong way, almost. It just leaves me questioning the overalls of Mr. F in the season, and it just seems a bit odd to kind of say that he was the rebuilt version of Mr. E, and then have him do absolutely nothing later on in the season. Again, I know this might sound kind of nitpicky. I'm not necessarily being completely serious, and I'm not, like, really angry at Crystalized for this, and I'm not going to dislike the season anymore because of this choice. It's just something I really wanted to talk about today because I thought it would make for a fun video. And, yeah, as I keep saying, I just think it's strange that Mr. F was said to be Mr. E, but he does absolutely nothing in relation to the character of Mr. E, if you guys get what I'm saying. He never reveals himself to be Echo Zane this time around. He never even talks. Nothing, really. He's just there and is doing Harumi's bidding for the most part. Actually, all there is to him here. And it's kind of insane that he gets even less focus and screen time than some of the other Crystal Council members, such as Pythor, for example. Yeah, it's kind of wild, but I just wanted to make this video here today to really take a better look at the character of Mr. F in Crystalized and discuss that, well, overall, he really doesn't do much in the slightest. But with all of this being said, what did you guys think about Mr. F in the season? Did you actually like him or not? Be sure to drop your thoughts down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video here today, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more. So be sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be the first to watch my new content whenever I do post it. And with all of this being said, I'll see you all soon for my next one. Goodbye.